So, hi everyone. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. And I know, right now is a really strange time that we are all kind of going through. So, I don't know how you're feeling right now, but let's say if you're not feeling so great, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling a little anxious, just for this 1 hour, just accept it, acknowledge it, and just leave it behind and just bring your best self to this webinar. And we're going to have an amazing session. And if you're feeling great, if you're feeling really energetic and joyful and happy, then bring all that positive energy into this webinar as well. I am so glad to be a part of this live session. So first of all, I would like to thank Mentor Mitr for organizing this. It's always great working with you guys. And so today we're going to be talking about dreams and goals and all that good stuff. Okay, so now would be a good time to just, grab a pen and a paper, because when you take notes, that's when changes happen. They happen on a visceral level. So anything that you think is worth noting down, please do that. And I will also be urging you to write certain things down in your notebooks. Okay, so let's get started. So, um, so if I told you today that you could have anything, you could achieve anything, you could be anything. There are no limits, there are no boundaries, there are no rules, there is no failure, and you can have whatever it is that you want to have. So, if that's the case, what would you go after? What would you chase? Who would you become? What would you do? So, these are some questions that I actually want you to write down on a piece of paper, because these questions are going to call upon your inner dreamer. We all have this dreamer inside of us, and that dreamer um, is basically your higher self, or your the best version of you from future, or your future self, whatever you want to call it. That dreamer communicates to you, and that dreamer will give you flashes of inspiration. You will get ideas in your head. You will have these thoughts. You will have these visions about being someone, about creating something, about showing up as someone in this world. So that is what we are after. So this is, I hope this makes sense, because this is a spiritual perspective and it is a little bit esoteric, but just believe me, this really does, it helps you to connect with your imagination. And when you connect with your imagination, beautiful things happen. So I hope everybody can hear me, because I'm not sure you guys can hear me, and I feel like I'm just talking to myself. So, okay, great. Thanks, Riddhi, for confirming that you guys can hear me. And so, we human beings are, okay, thank you, Usha. Okay, great. So, imagination, we human beings are creators, we are creative beings, and imagination is that tool that connects us with our future self, with the dreamer inside of us, right? So all these visions that you get, all these hunches, all these inspirations, those are the dreams. So they're connected with your life purpose in a way that your higher self, the inner dreamer, will keep dropping hints, and these hints are going to be these little flashes and these little visions. And of course, you're not going to get a blueprint. Okay, this is your life purpose, so go ahead and do whatever you want to do. But the dreamer will keep dropping little hints, and you have to connect the dots. And this is where life gets so interesting. Your best dreams, the dreams that are really your dreams at the end of the day, will excite you a lot. And they will also scare you a little bit, a little bit. But the best part is that you will keep thinking about these dreams every single day. So the sooner you start taking some kind of action towards realizing these dreams, the better it is going to be for your own well-being, for your sanity, and for your happiness. Because human beings are creators, we are creators, and we are also creatures of purpose. So if we don't live life on purpose, we kind of drift through life, and we drift here, there, and everywhere. And that is not a good place to be. So when you're drifting in life, you're just going to be following other people's dreams, and other people's plans will become your plans. So have your own plan, have your own vision, have your own purpose, and dream big, dream big. So dreaming big and dreaming is so, so important because like I mentioned before, it connects you with your imagination. And our imagination, human imagination is the best gift that our creator, if you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, if you believe in some kind of higher power, infinite intelligence, whoever, whatever you believe in, wherever your faith lies, that creator has given you this imagination. And imagination is what, distinguishes human beings from other creatures. Our imagination can take us anywhere. So dreaming and dreaming big is so important because you become friends with that inner dreamer. You become friends with your imagination, and so dreaming really pushes you to think outside of the box, get really creative, push the boundaries, shatter glass ceilings, and really create. So just know that any invention that has ever been created, any technology, any smartphone, the first computer, the first telephone, the first airplane, it was just a dream in someone's head. It was just an idea. And they were probably really ridiculed for that idea as well, because before them, nobody else had created that, right? So it's so important because if these people, whoever invented the Wright brothers, they invented the Wright brothers invented the airplane. So if they had a dream, they had a vision, and despite what others said, labeled them as maybe crazy and ridiculous, they still stuck to their intuition, they stuck to their dreams and their conviction, and then lo and behold, we have the first airplane. And just like that, Elon Musk now is taking everyone to other planets. Now, call him crazy. He's a crazy guy. I agree, but you have to dream. You have to think outside of the box. So, in that sense, dreams are so, so important. And being that dreamer or being in touch with your inner dreamer is so, so important. And I hope that you guys agree with me. But there is a little thing that is between your dream and reality, and that gap is action. When you take action is when you move towards bringing these dreams from that esoteric, from that spiritual plane into the real plane, into the physical plane where we are. And I hope this is making sense. I know I'm using a lot of spiritual jargon, so if anyone has any questions about what the terms that I'm using, I'm happy to clarify. So please feel free to put them in the chat. And so action. Yes, we were talking about action. Now, if you don't take action, if you just dream, if you just keep dreaming, beyond a point, it becomes just daydreaming. And daydreaming is fine for a while, but after some time, it gets very stressful because your inner dreamer, your higher self, your future self, the best version of you is showing you what you need to do, what your life purpose is, what you should be doing. And you know that is your life purpose, and yet you're not taking any action. So that causes a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of pain. Okay, and you start experiencing negative emotions if you don't take action. You start drifting through life. You start drifting in every direction here, there, everywhere. You're drifting through life, and there is no, your directionless basically. If that happens. So again, if you're experiencing stress and negative emotions because you're not taking action, that is also your higher self, the best version of you communicating with you through your negative emotions. Look, you're off course, you're off track. Do something about it. Get back on track. So even those negative emotions have a purpose, that's what I really, really firmly believe in. So I want to talk about action a little bit more. And this is where goals come into the picture. So a dream, great. You have this vision, you have this broad perspective of what you want to create, who you want to show up, who you want to be. So that's like a broad perspective. And then goals really help you to narrow that down into something specific. So goals are nothing but, your dreams with an actionable plan and a deadline. So goals work best when they're written in present tense and in highly positive language. And also, using language that really excites you, that really gets you going. Every time you read your goal or you write your goal, it should get you going. So goals are literally the segue, the bridge between dreams and reality. So goals, I think, and I believe, and I feel, are literally the clay with which you mold your dreams into reality. So your dreams are intangible, but your goals, with the help of action, you can make your dreams into a tangible reality, right? So goals in that sense are so important, again, because dreams without goals are just dreams. And then, if you don't take action, if you don't have a plan, you just, like I said before, you drift away and you drift off, and then you get sad and anxious and upset and frustrated. So yeah, we don't want that to happen. So goals are very specific. Like I said, they're very detailed, and they have to have a deadline attached to the goal. Because if you don't have a deadline attached to the goal, again, you're going to drift off here, there, and everywhere. So that is a little something about goals and dreams and the connection between goals and dreams. And I also wanted to just talk about failure, because I think if you were to, like I said before, imagine if you had no limitations, if there was no chance of failing, what would you do? What would you do with that mindset? You would try so many different things, right? Or you would really show up as the best version of you, really fearless. But we all have so much pain when we talk about failure. You know, so failure, what is failure? Failure and rejection is nothing. It is just a feedback loop. It is just a feedback. You tried something, that something did not work, so you have to try something else. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. It is just that something did not work, and there is a beautiful lesson wrapped in that. So the problem happens when we all start linking our failure with our worth as human beings. So I'm here to tell you that you are divine, you're a child of God, and your worth as a human being is not connected to your failures and what you do, and if you feel rejected. It's not. And I know this is a new concept, a radical concept, and it will take some time for your subconscious mind to accept it. But believe me, this is all there is to failure. So I think we all need to accept failure. We all need to normalize failure and rejection. And when we accept something, this is normal, this is done, this happens, this is life. Life happens in cycles. There's up, there's down, there's up, there's down. If it was a flat line, it would be very, very boring. Believe me, economies run in cycles, everything runs in cycles. So life also happens in cycles. So while there is going to be up, there's going to be down also. So failure, rejection is a part of life. And the sooner we accept it, the better it is going to be for our own sanity, right? So I tell all my clients, let's approach each day with a different mindset, slightly different mindset. We are going to approach each day with an acceptance towards failure. So each day when you wake up, I want you to start your day with something like this. Okay, let's fail today. Let's get rejected. So it's a 30-day challenge. I'm challenging all of you right now, and you can write this down in your notebook. Please, I highly recommend try this for the next 30 days. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So every morning when you start your day, just start with this attitude, okay? I'm going to fail at least once today, and I'm going to get rejected at least once today. So once something is accepted as normal and part of life, and so the fear around that thing then starts to dissolve, right? So if you get rejected, say 10, 20 times, and if you fail 10, 20 times, it's not going to be very emotionally loaded. And yeah, so my attitude towards failure at this point is I love failure. I love getting rejected. Bring it on. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, or if you want to be in sales, or if you want to have your own practice, like I have my own coaching practice. So believe me, my professional life is full of failures and rejections every single day. So I have to call so many potential clients before I get confirmed as a coach. And that's just how life is. It's a game of numbers. And I just want you to just change that attitude towards failure and rejection, because when you start loving failure and rejection, you're going to become unstoppable. So think about it. Like, I wonder if tomorrow you approach uh, the next day or the next day or the next day with this attitude, how many things will you try? How adventurous will you become? How many things will you experiment with? What all wouldn't you try? How many sales calls are you going to make? Are you finally going to call that girl? You think she's out of your league, but you might just call her now because you don't fear rejection anymore, or you're like, okay, I need to get rejected today, so let me try calling this girl, or let me try, chatting with this guy, or whatever it might be. So yeah, so I'm challenging everyone who's present here to take on this challenge for the next 1 month. And yeah, I think I'm running out of time, so I'm going to leave you with this last thought that looking back at my own life, all my failures have led me to where I am today, and it has made me this amazing life coach, so I can serve my clients better. So when I look back, and I know it sounds cliche, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's perfect. So your failures are also your rejection, and failures are also redirection from God, from the divine, from your higher self. That while pursuing your dreams, you've gone a little off course. So that failure and that rejection is literally redirection, divine redirection. And that's how you reframe things in life. And that's how you demystify these things as well. And I love this quote by Catherine Ponder. And I'm going to leave you guys with this quote. Failure is nothing but success trying to be born in a bigger way. So just hold that thought. And yeah, I think, Trisha, do I have any more time left, or now you want Usha to come and speak? I think my time is up. I'm not sure what's happening, guys.